Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron. Good to see you. Let's see. It's March 29th, 2025, 10:51 a.m. Welcome to Lunchtime Wizardry. Been a long time, so I think I said it in the wrong order. But there we go. Today's lunch was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I just wanted to eat something fast before coming in here to stream a bit. So, the long story being that I was going to stream for my stream anniversary in February and ended up not doing it for one reason or another. Can't really remember why. Then I was going to stream for my birthday last week, but my power supply in my PC went out. It was making a huge grating noise and it went a couple times, so I decided it was time to get a new power supply. So my PC spent a week in the shop. So here we are, third try for no real reason at all. Wizardry, the 5 ordeals, back to an old favorite. We're going to be creating some characters in preparation for the new scenario. And when I say new, I mean not really all that new. They added a 6th scenario to the 5 ordeals, an introductory scenario called The Price of Deception. So I figured we would play that and then see where it all leads us. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and switch over to Wizardry, which hopefully you can hear going on in the background there. There it is. Oh, I should turn on capture cursor. The game's music is a little quiet, but who knows how loud the game noise will get once it's going. Well, not that much longer. Oh my. I guess I have the nudity toggled on. That's all right, right? We're all grown-ups here, and who knows how long it'll be until we see one of those. If it continues to be too quiet, let me know. All we're going to hear this session basically is background music because I think it's going to take an entire hour or more to create characters. That's how it's going to be. Let's go ahead and start the game. Also, hey Aaron, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well considering that my PC is back. For a treat, I got myself Game Pass for a month and am playing Avowed, which is a gorgeous game. Absolutely gorgeous. Not really sure about the game just yet, but I'm still in the very, very opening segments of it. It is, if nothing else, a perfectly competent first-person dungeon crawlery kind of thing, much like Skyrim or anything else. Everything you've seen about Avowed looks good. Yeah, it is fun. So fun that I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, going, maybe I should play a little Avowed, and I did just that. Then went back to sleep. So good enough to wake up for, I guess, is my review so far. All right, so here we are in the Price of Deception. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the tavern and load up the default party because we're going to make notes. Dwarf male good fighter. Human male good samurai. Gnome female good priest. Female neutral thief. Elf female neutral mage. And human male good bishop. Because what we're going to do is basically make a supercharged version of this party. Let's go ahead and do that. So remove. Then we're going to steal their 600 gold. Go to the edge of town and the training grounds. Create new character. So they've changed the UI a little bit for the Switch release. Enter new name. Well, just A. And we want 1, 3, 1, 1. That's our thing. How many bonus points did we get? Only 8? Get that bunch of nerds out here. Time to make the cool kids. Exactly. Where cool is defined by having 20 or more bonus points. This character's not cool. The cool thing is, it now keeps your old name, so 1, 3, 1, 1. Nope, only 9. $16. 16 is tempting. 16 is very tempting. Blue. Hello, Dominic. Was just thinking about you this morning. Good to see you. It's nice to see you too. It's nice to be online and streaming and all of that. I hope you're doing well. I was thinking about how much I enjoyed you and C singing. Yeah, she's talking about wanting to do another song together. We'll have to see when we can get that done. Let me. Only 7 this time. Game's like, you should have kept that 16. Okay, I do hope so. I'll make sure to let you know when we do. Another 16. Revenge of these nerds. Another 16. Nope, we're going to try for the over 20s. Doing well, Dominic. Have plans for the next few months and a vet checked Ruby yesterday. It was a quality of life conversation, and she confirmed Ruby is a happy dog. Aw. You managed to settle into your new home pretty well, pretty well. Broadcasting from the new studio, such as it is. The desk is a lot smaller. The mic is in the way of the second monitor. But all in all, get pretty used to it. We got a foldable table to put away and take out when we want to play board games. So we've been doing that a little bit. It's all going quite well. But you don't need a mic to stream, sorted. I was always under the impression that we did. Let's see. 1311. 16 again. See, we're in the same boat as board game we didn't play for a long time, then bought a foldable picnic table. Been great to be able to play again. The 16 curse, exactly. Yeah, and I had a chance to pick up a few new games recently. I picked up a dice game called Spots, which is pretty fun. And, 17. We broke the 16 curse. And the other one was Cascadia. Sort of a tile laying game where you're putting out a wilderness area and stocking it with animals and trying to get them to score in different ways. It's pretty fun. It's kind of a sequel or in the same line as Calico, but isn't as frustrating as Calico to me, which is nice. I like the sound of Cascadia. I was thinking about writing to you in Cornuda and seeing if you wanted to try it out in tabletop sim sometime. $30 bonus points. 30. All right. So, what's our top strength? 26. Vitality. A new high bar for everyone else to fail to clear. Exactly. I think 30 is around the theoretical maximum. I like that. You know how I like music on, but you prefer not to? I should be able to listen to Spotify through my headphones, right? Well, right, but we can have music on the Discord call if you want. That's fine by me. I've certainly played games before with music on. Okay, sounds very good. Yep. After stream, I'll be sure to drop you and Cornelio a note and say, hey, we should definitely get together and do this. It is a fun game. I'm sure they have it on Tabletop Sim. I haven't checked, but it would be weird if they didn't. Has he mentioned Music League? Yeah, yeah. We're playing a big old Music League in the Badweed Towers Discord. So that whole group of people is playing one, and it is quite fun, although frustrating from time to time. I'm never quite sure if we're trying to be nominating the best song that fits the criteria or the song that best fits the criteria, which are two subtly different things. Plus, my musical taste is so different than everybody else's uh, that it just seems like I've got no luck. I have hopes for my song in this round. I assume it's epics, so a song longer than 6 minutes. I would have said an epic needed to be longer than that, but okay. Um, I think I'm the only one who nominated like a big, long, building to a crescendo post rock song, which is the kind of thing that I like when I listen to a song that long. So, yeah, I think this is something a lot of people wonder about. Is it songs I like? Best match? I do a bit of both of these. Yeah. And then voting too, you're like, yeah, it's just, I think I've basically made up my mind to play it via vibes. Just allow everything to happen the way it will and not worry about it too much. If I don't vote for a song, then I don't vote for a song. And for the first time in this epic round, there are a couple songs that I am skipping because one I know I don't like, and another one it's like 13 minutes long, and I couldn't get through the first 4 minutes. What else do we need? We need some agility. There we go. Keep this. Yes. So rename one Beauregard. When I really don't like to start and skip head to check and still don't like it, it's a pass for me. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad for a little bit of validation there because I was feeling really guilty about skipping a song, but yeah, sometimes you just gotta. Okay, so that's our dwarf male good fighter. Now, a human male good samurai. So 6, 1, 1, 1. Eighteen, 18, 18. All right, I'm going to alt tab out of here for just a second. Head on over to Steam. There must be a guide about character creation. Official online manual. Character creation. Samurai must have 15, 11, 10, 14, 10. Does not make it. My favorite lead so far was one son pointed out to me, Yankee Candles. Each week there was a description of a candle's scents, and the task was to find a song that fit it. There were some lovely submissions. That sounds like a very interesting league and one that is absolutely sideways to the way I usually think about music. That's another one of my problems. The next round for us is spring. And when we had another round where it was a theme like that, and I submitted a song and it was blasted for being too literal. So now I don't know what to do. Only 7. I have a feeling this is going to be a long uphill climb here trying to get this samurai. 18 again, that's not enough. $19, also not enough. I think people should nitpick in the comments entries that are submitted. I have mixed feelings about the comments because a lot of times I don't feel up to making comments after I've listened to all the songs and decided how I'm going to portion out my points. I feel bad not commenting on the songs that I don't vote for, etc., etc. Only 8. Only 9. Didn't mean to do that. I don't know the others in the leagues I'm in, so I can just turn off the comments. Tempting sometimes. So while I was computerless, it was very difficult. I don't get along well with doing things on my phone. I tried playing Musically, for instance, on my phone, and it drove me nuts. The ads on Spotify are just ridiculous. $17. 16. So I bought a Chromebook, an incredibly cheap small laptop, and it did quite well at the job of keeping me online and reading my email. I really liked it, as a matter of fact. But I'm glad to be back on my bigger computer, where AdBlock actually works. Plus 3. And now you can see why when I did a thread. Now you can see, well, the last time I streamed 5 Ordeals, I did this offline. I made characters all by myself, listening to podcasts, because there's not much to make a good stream out of this. Just hope for good conversation. Sharing the true wizardry experience, though, isn't it? Isn't it just? This is what the beginning of every wizardry looks like if you want to do well. Also, while I didn't have my PC, I tried Class of Heroes 2 on the PS5, which I bought in the Christmas sale. And somehow resisted the temptation to do this. I'm actually rolling with just the default characters in that. It doesn't seem to be too bad of an idea there. Plus, I think they've flattened the bonus point curve a little bit there and gotten rid of the really explodey kind of results, like that 30. $16. $7. Oh dear. Delete. 2, yes. Make character 2. Something I realized just being a viewer, not a streamer, is that when you like a streamer, you're perfectly happily just listening to them, whatever they do. Tech problems, even. Yeah, I think that that's true. It certainly holds true for a lot of the streams that I like to attend and listen to. And thank you for the indirect compliment. It's nice when the defaults actually don't suck. It really is. If you use the defaults for one of these wizardry scenarios, they just aren't up to the task of making it to level 2. I imagine though that this music that's playing here is practically inaudible. It's so much softer uh, than the main music loop. Seven. There's music. There is, in fact, music. It's very, very quiet. Let me see here. The wavelength. Turned it up quite a bit, but it's still very, very soft and tinkly. That's all right. If you could really, really hear the music, it would probably drive you nuts to hear the same thing over and over again for the goodness knows how long this is going to take. Hiya, Nick. How are you doing? You're up at 8:23 on Saturday. Wow. I can hear the music fine. Tino's ears are just broken. I'd be willing to believe that, but did you miss the Music League discussion, Tina? 28. 28. Did I hit all the options right? Samurai, human, good, male. Okay, so what are the stats that they needed again? 15, 11, 10, 14, 10. 15, 11, 10, 14, 10. Waking up around 8 is sleeping in for me. Yeah, I used to be like that. And then I had no reason to get up for almost an entire year. Uh, C wakes me up to ask me if I will make her breakfast. And that's when I get up, whenever she manages to get up. So it's creeping later and later. Today it was 10 o'clock. You did? Only been here a couple minutes. Apparently, Blue is into Music League as well, so we just chatted about it a little bit. And I vented my frustration again about this long song round. We will take a couple more points in vitality, a couple more points in strength, and one more point in vitality. No. In strength. Keep this character, yes. Is our Dominic a nondescript for Brian Wilson? Nope. I'm getting wrecked this round, but it's fine and deserved. I won't find out where I'm at in the standings until I manage to get through the rest of the playlist, which maybe later today. Now, there's one song that I just can't, and I'm going to skip. And I'm feeling guilty about it, but I'm going to skip it. Keep this character? Yes. All right. Be thinking of a good name for a samurai. All right. So, a priest. So 3, 4, 1, 2. 3412. What's the category? It's epics. So songs over 6 minutes long. And there's one that's the one I'm currently listening to that just is not working for me at all. I know that I'm not going to vote for it, so I don't want to listen to the rest of it. But I don't want to skip it either because I feel guilty about skipping somebody's song. What if it gets good in the last 2 minutes? And then, Naren, much appropriate to what you just said, there is one which is actually just a big whack of Rush songs all smacked into one track. And I do not like Rush. I do not. I've heard this whack of songs before, and I'm just going to skip it. It's over 20 minutes long. Right off the bat, we get 17. 2112, it is indeed. I critique that track for being 6 songs stapled together. Easy and Fen corrected me, saying it's valid as it's a medley. It's not. It's 6 songs stapled together. I don't know if I'm leaving comments at all, but I don't think I'm leaving comments on songs I'm giving 0 in any case. But that's exactly what I would say. I'm not voting for this because A, it's Rush, and B, it's not one song. Can immediately think of one dope ass 16-minute track, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I did the same, but it might become really good, but wouldn't listen to X amount of minutes of a record to enjoy just a short bit at the end. Exactly. 2112 usually gets performed as a single piece, the whole thing done instead of just parts of it, so Rush fans are a little weird about that. Yeah, but I didn't go nominating Thick as a Brick, did I? If it was on the radio or the album, I meant to say exactly. 17. What would this look like? Vitality up to at least 14. I think we'll stick with this. That's why I can't enjoy Tool. I'm not waiting 20 minutes for 30 seconds of the good part. Hmm. Hmm. As someone who worked in radio once told me, 2112 and other things like it are what get put on when the DJ has to. I'm willing to believe it. Did I actually play 2112 like that on the radio? Let's dump them in the piety and move on. Save this character, yes. So that's 3 characters done out of 6 in 45 minutes. We've accepted a 17, y'all, for a basic class. We've got 2 basic classes and 1 advanced class left. So the line has been drawn. We will accept a 17. So what is this? A thief? 4, 5, 2, 2. Four, 5, 2, 2. Like when a teacher puts on a movie. Exactly. I don't want to do anything today. We're going to watch a movie. $19. Okay, we need some vitality. We need some agility. Some more agility. There's some more agility, more luck. Okay. Yes, there's character number 4. A mage. 2, 2. 2, 2. That's easy enough to remember. Okay. Okay, wow, we're kind of rocketing through the end of these. However, here's the one that's going to be difficult. The bishop needs a whole bunch of points. A whole bunch of them. So we have a human male good bishop. That's 5, 1, 1, 1. We're going to have to replace all these names. So if anybody has an idea for a name, let me know, because naming characters is not my strong suit. Bishop McBishop face is too long. Do they have avatars to get a feel for their name? By default, they just have a a little spell icon, but you can make custom ones. So if you want to have a name with a feel, then you can certainly submit a URL for a picture, and I will make a custom avatar to go along with it. Jim Jabberwock, Sam Ulysses Rye, Cleveland McMagnus, the Utah Kid. Sam Ulysses Rye is too long. So is Cleveland McMagnus, I think. The max is 16 characters because we're in a non-double L. Are we helping? You are definitely helping. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Oh, I see. You can be shortened to Samurai. Copernicus. That's a good one. Let's see. I remember a lot of games like this when I was growing up, having like an auto roller where you could say, hey, I want at least this many points, or I want at least these stats. I kind of wish this game had that sometimes. Yeah, we would just be staring at a screen full of numbers changing, but... $18. Chaff. Just chaff. Name is 6. I'm giving them temporary names for now, and we can rename them in just a minute, because we're about to finish up character creation, I think. Bishop needs 15 IQ and 15 piety. Oof. That does not leave much room for vitality. All right. We'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. Yes. Okay, so rename. Next page. I thought the retro RPGs that let you set the stats to whatever you want were silly, but it's certainly a time saver. It is. Because given that choice, who's not going to just set them all to maximum? All right, and back here to 2, I think. Okay, we still need a name for the priest. And one for the mage. They're for purists who must roll their stats with their own dice, their own lucky dice. All right. Set the paper aside for a bit. Baby Billy. I mean, the gnome is a woman. Not that I'm going to be too sexist about it, but a woman named Father's Daddy is a little odd. Let's curse someone and call them lucky. Like that. All right. Only the mage to go. I've been watching The Righteous Gemstones, and Uncle Baby Billy is the funniest name on TV, I'm sure. Look, he's gonna die so much. Probably not as much as Copernicus. But the bishop is gonna be stuck way in the back. So. Alright. Alright, one mage name. If you go back on YouTube, you know, to streams of 5 Ordeals from before, like I had No Face as a character and a lot of other custom character assets. It was kind of fun to put together. Limbo Bag End. Blembo it is. I don't know, I'm terrible with names too. This is a pretty good set of names, I think. Alright. So, go back to the castle. Let's add Beauregard and most of the default characters. And then we'll pool gold to Beauregard. Let's not forget to steal the bishop's gold. And then add all of our new characters and pool gold to Beauregard. I just usually name my characters stuff like this asshole and that asshole. In theory, it's something that I like to do, and in practice, it's really, really stressful. To come up with them on the spot in front of an audience is especially stressful. So thank you guys very much for helping out with the character names. I hope to keep them straight. Leave, and then edge of town, training grounds, delete. Fighter, samurai, priest, thief, mage, bishop, castle, candidates tavern, add everybody, and divvy the gold. Oh wow, even with that crap. Wow. Excuse me, pardon me. Even with that crap vitality, Copernicus has more hit points than Blembo. I tend to steal names from characters I played in tabletop. I've managed to develop a small stable that is usually enough to cover these things. That's what I do a lot of times, especially like because of Odyssey's stream when I was on the Chromebook. I was trying out GeForce Now, and they had Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So I played that for a little bit, and I made a monk character, a halfling monk called Tentos. That's a character that I've played in tabletop. But there's a small number of those. And then I have names that I used to use a million years ago, where I thought it was very clever to just reverse the names of characters. So I played with mages called Nilrem and thieves called Oblib and things like that. I tend to fall back on that still to this day. All right. Time to hit the store. There's Trading Post. So everybody has 200 gold pieces to spend. So we'll go in as Beauregard, buy item. First thing I want to do is check miscellaneous items. There's only 2 pages of them. Cloak is a miscellaneous item, okay. Torch. Can't be equipped. Well, yeah, you don't equip torches. Ring of Jewels, 1,500 gold pieces. So this is one of the first things that we are going to be saving for, because casting Wizard Eye whenever we want is a great effect. Time to head out. Need to re-register my car and get a haircut. Have fun. You too, Nick. See ya. I need to get a haircut as well. I was thinking maybe Monday. Maybe Monday I'll get my haircut. All right, what's on the next page? Bunch of sold out things. So technically, in order to complete a wizardry game, some people insist that you have to sell one of every item to the shop so that none of these things say sold out. I have never ever done that. Alright, what kind of sub-weapons do we have? Just daggers. It's a weapon. Long sword. Short sword. Sword of slicing. 6,800 gold. Okay. Dagger, staff. Short bow, mace, warhammer. Well, katana is 1750, so the samurai's getting a long sword for a bit. I'm excited about Monday being a keen bookworm. I'm having a secondhand bookcase delivered. That's awesome. Bookcases are so much fun. I just packed away a bunch of books from a bookcase, as a matter of fact. Put them in storage because I wasn't going to read them anytime soon, and broke out some board games and put them on the shelves. So that made me excited too. I have one shelf that's role-playing games and miscellaneous stuff, and another that is pretty much all board games with some miscellaneous books and things at the top. There's nothing better than arranging a thing than having a shelf or something to arrange something on. It's primo stuff. Okay, we're gonna go boring. We're gonna get you a long sword. And a shield. Only 2 pages of armor. Second, which is all sold out. So chainmail. Helms are expensive. Gloves are really expensive. Boots are expensive. We'll see if there's enough to outfit the fighters with that kind of stuff afterwards. So for Sam, we're going to buy the same stuff. Oh no, we just bought 2 longswords. Well, that's my own fault. Chainmail. Can't use a shield. We'll buy you a sub-dagger then. Lucky who's a priest. We'll get you a mace. Oh boy, we can wear chainmail. Okay. A shield. Blumbo. A weapon, we want a quarterstaff. We went on a long staff. Okay, just a regular staff. Robe. I really doubt you can use a shield or a helm. So you get some shoes. Yeah, seeing those board games on the shelves looks so good too. This one has a drawer at the bottom, which I'm so happy about because we'll keep my literature notes, pens, and such in. Cool. If I moved one or two of my bookshelves around, I would probably have space for a third, and I'm really thinking about it. That's Blimbo. Now that's what I thought. We didn't buy anything for chat. So, how much is a bow? 600 gold. Well, you're not getting one of those anytime soon. Short sword. Leather armor. Shield. $5 gold short of some shoes. Okay, and Copernicus. Probably staff, robe, and shoes. Yep. Oh, can equip leather. So we'll do that. Some shoes. Okay. Back to the tavern. Equip everything. Okay. So there's our party. An hour and 10 minutes. That's about 20 minutes faster than I expected to create an actual workable party and get them all outfitted. So, And now for adventures, parties, and wild times. Exactly. All right. I haven't yet set up the mapping, which is why I'm going, Okay. So, here we want to do a window capture. Good cartographer. Okay. I forget how to clip it. I thought it was Alt. It is. Must have been holding down the wrong button. Okay. And we'll shrink it down some. Put it up here in the corner. See how that works out. One of those things where it gets cramped even with two screens. The Castle of Edricoy. Narrow Mine. This is the king's command. The hero Zelk is training his troops in number 1 mine shaft northwest of the kingdom. Due to the remote nature of the lands, the prophecy is yet to spread. Find Lord Zelk, give him the king's command. Meet him with respect. Okay. So we're looking for someone called Zelk in the Narrow Mine, that side of town. Go to the edge of town, the entrance of the maze. Narrow Mine. Nell Mine. We're sticking with the quality of our translations here. Not making sure that things line up. Hopefully it'll be good enough to get us through. Tutorial for all beginners and a gateway for a deeper adventure. Many of the mechanics are crucial for your future adventures. Lord Zelk totally doesn't sound like a Power Rangers villain. I have good feelings about this guy. Exactly. All right, let's hit the Narrow Mine. Turn off the on-screen arrows. Okay, so I'm just going to start the map down here. Stairway up. Oh, not like that though. Back to edges. Okay, we don't even have a light spell going or anything, so our visibility is kind of low. Here's a door. As you attempt to open the door, an alarm begins to ring violently. Before you can make sense of it, a man approaches you, red with anger. Oi, you lot, stop right there. Only students of Zelk are allowed past. Despite not saying a word, it seemed our confusion around this rule and the teachings of Zelk were written plainly upon our faces. The man's expression changes. Ho-ho! Outsiders, are we? Fancy visitors from the outside, eh? Nah, I reckon your adventurer's here for an audience with Master Zelk. Get lost. I don't have time for this. Go tell whoever sent you that we'll be in touch when we have time. Seems this route will get us nowhere. The man sauntered off toward the eastern hallway, muttering incomprehensibly. Alright, so I see there's some new items since the last time we played, like V for View Map, which will allow us to choose how we want to show the map. I don't know what log map A, B, and C are for, or any of those actions. I know that some things got color-coded, and other things like that. So culty and or Kui vibes not going down. So for right now, let's stop and cast a spell. And lucky. Oh, yeah, brightness. Here we go. Okay. A large sign hangs from the ceiling. Written in golden letters upon a finely varnished base of oak, you can see the words, Teachings of Zelk, Adventurer Training Ground. Okay. Going to this north door. It's just a 1x1x1 room. This place seems to be a lecture hall. A professor stands at the podium in front of a blackboard with diagrams. The students are writing down notes. What could they be teaching? Take the lecture? Yes or no? Yes. As you can see, due to physical limitations, a group can only consist of up to 6 members within the labyrinth. This is what we refer to as a party. Not the fun kind, mind you. The smallest combat units are called platoons. The 3 in the front are vanguard. The 3 in the back are rear guard. In layman terms, the front will attack with weapons. The rear will support with spells. That is the division of labor. What this also means is the front will receive direct attacks. The rear 3 will not. Simple. Placing a mage in front is suicide, and placing a warrior with weapons at the back will be meaningless. There are, however, exceptions. Each weapon has a range. Weapons like a bow or a long spear have the ability to attack enemies from the rear. But if the enemy has ranged weapons, they will be able to reach the rear. What if they can fly like a bird? What if they have long arms? These attacks can reach the rear too. Direct attacks aren't the only concern. The enemy may use spells too. There may be monsters that use fire, ice, or even acid breath. Being in the rear is not always safe. Be on your toes at all times. Know yourself and your foes, your melee strength and spells, number of enemies, patterns, abilities. Know your enemy to know yourself. This is the first step to mastering party placement. But a fun party was promised. We've got a pretty fun party going. Don't listen to that. Okay. MP Healing Spring. Caution. Sleeping in a city inn is essential to level up your potential. HP Healing Spring. Same caution. Long-winded way to say stabby guys up front, casty guys in back. Exactly. Alright, so if we go in here... We have a really old school, here is an event kind of thing. There's a spring. Push any button. We'll wade. Nobody just yet. I assume this is going to be the same thing. And let's drop a fountain marker on them. There we go. Caution, we get kickbacks from innkeepers. Go use their services. Captain Beef Token to the rescue. Hey, Manic. All right, here's another classroom. This place seems to be a lecture hall. A dozen students and 3 professors. One in white, one in black, and another in gray. What could they be teaching? Take the lecture? Yes. Everything in this world is made up of 3 alignments. One is good, also known as order. On the opposite end is evil, also known as chaos. And in the middle is neutral. Oh no, alignment. Yep. All humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, and hobs abide by this rule. They side with good, evil, or neutral. The good and evil cannot coexist. Those who are neutral can help to bridge this gap, but it's not easy. All chaos is evil, clearly, exactly. It's a black and white world. The class you can choose is dependent on your alignment. A priest and a bishop must be good or evil. A thief, neutral or evil. A samurai, good or neutral. A lord must be good, and a ninja must be evil. A lord and a ninja will not usually exchange stories in a tavern. However, an evil lord and a good ninja may coexist, although there are exceptions. After all, good can be evil and evil can be good. How is this possible, I cannot say. It may be impossible in town, but in the labyrinth, such a situation may arise. Good is not born good, and evil is not born evil. It all comes down to how you act. If you meet a foe refusing to fight and begging for life, be careful. Don't be tricked. A lord must be good. Yeah, sure, that's required to be an aristocrat. Exactly. Okay. What we've got here is this kind of thing. This place seems to be a lecture hall. The number of students are the same, but there are 8 professors. What could they be teaching? So I just got finished with a round of Pool of Radiance. The old school SSI gold box came in. Good lord, that's a savage, unfair beating. Pool of Radiance can be rough. Oh, is the map, like, in the way of the text box? No. Okay, good. Take the lecture? Yes, please. And that is why we refer to these positions as class. You could call them ranks, too. There are 8 classes in total. Learn the properties of each. I will now present them to you. First, the thief, a professional in identifying and disarming the traps and treasure chests. Combat abilities are mid to low. They don't have much HP and may not be your first pick for Vanguard. Bows, spells, and scrolls will be your best friend. Next, the fighter, with the ability to use many of the weapons and armor. The warrior excels in both offense and defense. HP is extremely high, making them a great fit for Vanguard, but not good at facing multiple foes. Make sure to team up with Spellcaster. And the priest. They mainly specialize in healing spells, but are also skilled users of weapons such as the mace. With high HP, they are balanced in both attack and defense. They hold their own on the front line, but shine as rear guard. I consider getting into those games every once in a while, but they might be a little too archaic in controls for me. I'm still frustrated because we were playing the Kryn games on stream with Goldbox Companion, and I was having a great time. And then it just started bugging out. It was very frustrating. The mage. They can attack with powerful spells, however they are weak to attacks and cannot equip proper armor. Best for use is rear guard. They can summon a wall to protect allies from spells and attacks. The bishop. That bishop looks a little evil to me. These are the advanced classes. Bishops can use the spells of priests and mages. They can also identify unknown items. They are, however, slow to learn spells. At low levels, expect to be using a lot of simple support spells. The samurai, an advanced class from the Far East. With abilities matching the fighter, they can also use mage spells. Unlike the fighter, they cannot equip heavy armor. If you get your hands on a katana, the high attack should make up for it. Hey, I won't hear anything against Bishop Wormtongue. The Lord, also known as Monarch or Holy Knight. They have equal strength and defense as a fighter and can learn priest spells early on. The Samurai is considered an advanced attacking class, and the Lord an advanced defensive class. Last but not least, the Ninja. Although not as skilled as the Thief, they can identify and disarm traps. They can also dish out critical hits, which can slay foes in one single blow. They are, however, extremely slow at leveling up. How you utilize these 8 classes in your party of 6 will be the ultimate test. The party placement will be key in becoming a good party leader. Okay. Alright, so it was like this. The person standing at the podium is a little strange. Seems like more like a merchant than a professor. What could they be teaching? Take the lecture? Yes. As you can see, magic items are living beings, one could say. Just like a horse. If they don't like the rider, they will kick and rage and try to shake them off. The ring in my hand. It may seem like any other, but certain classes cannot equip it. Fascinating, don't you think? Depending on the item, your sex and race may become a factor as well. The same can be said for weapons and armor. A holy spear only meant for a fair maiden, or a sword that can only be wielded by the most dark-hearted fighter. Whether such weapons exist, I cannot say, but it will help to know some of these magical items have something called special power, SP for short. You'll need to equip it to see if the item has power unseen in other items. When you use SP, most items will turn to dust. However, not before casting a miracle. Whether the miracle is good or bad, you'll have to cast it and find out. Okay. Another lecture hall. Someone, a bishop presumably, stands at a podium. Written on the blackboard is a list of spells for wizards and priests. What exactly do they teach here? There are two forms of magic in this world. Spells for use by mages and those for use by priests. Within this division, there are 7 levels to which we can divide it further. Don't mix this up with the adventurer level. Each level of spell can be used a maximum of 9 times. This is due to what's called MP, magic points. If you've used your MP on level 1 spells, you will be unable to cast level 1 spells anymore, even if level 2 or level 3 MP remains. According to our master's teachings, different spells will take different tolls on the mental stability of the caster. At a certain level, their use serves as a catalyst of sorts for these reactions. There are, in fact, many causes. What do your mage friends think? The level 7 spells are incredibly potent. They are not to be treated lightly. One of these spells is Nuclear Blast. There are also spells to save your party from the brink of death or heal grievous injuries. Once mages and priests reach Adventurer level 13, use of these level 7 spells becomes possible. That is the origin of the term Master Level for Adventurer level 13. When all spells are available to you, you receive the title of Master. However, things get complicated for advanced classes. Samurai must be Adventurer level 22 before they can learn level 7 spells. Lords must be at Adventurer level 16 to do this. Bishops must be between levels 25 and 28. And yet, Samurai Lords and Bishops, having reached this Master level 13, are generally seen as Masters. Samurai and Lords are judged on their swordsmanship. Bishops on their knowledge of items or their total amount of casted spells. Yes, regardless of class or level, there are some items which confer spell usage to their user. A gift from God, wouldn't you agree? If such special power truly exists, I would very much like to see it for myself. I cast Everett's Scrotal Inversion. Alright. The person at the podium is wearing a white robe. A doctor, perhaps? Or a priest? Yeah, we'll take the lecture. Once you step outside the city, anyone could fall victim to a status effect. Make sure you learn the symptoms and cure for each of them. Let's start with fear. Those affected with fear cannot cast spells and cannot identify items. But not to worry, the status effect is relatively light. It should heal in time. Yeah, they really should have stopped Everett after the tentacles. Next is paralysis. Those with this effect cannot do anything. This doesn't mean they're dead. If you have the spell Cure Paralysis or Potion of Stimulate, you'll be able to cure them. Up next is poison. Unlike paralysis, the victim can still move, but their HP will be drained until they meet their demise. The Cure Poison spell or an antidote will undo the poison. You can also cure yourself by returning to town. Next up, stone. Similar to paralysis, but there aren't as many cures. The level 6 monk spell Cure All or a very rare elixir should work, but they're hard to find. Curing at the temple will cost you. In case of death, don't give up just yet. By using the spell Raise Dead, you can revive a party member in exchange for 1 year of aging and a little vitality. If you want to avoid aging, you can also revive at the temple. One thing to note, reviving from death does not have a 100% success rate. Whether it be by spell or at the temple, reviving someone has its risks. To those who fail at being revived, get the Ashes effect. To save someone from this state requires the highest monk spell, a level 7 Raise Ash, or a second revival attempt at a temple. If you fail a second time, the party member will become lost. Avoid the lost status at all cost. There's nothing you can do to cure it. Even a light poison or paralysis could lead to loss if not careful. Be prepared and act early. Don't forget that. The person standing at the podium seems like a thug, or perhaps a thief. The students have a similar look. I'll take the lecture. Wow. Don't be fooled by appearance. I'll say it again, you'll find many types of doors in the labyrinth. You won't be able to tell the difference at first glance. You'll just have to open it to find out. The first type of door is a one-way door. Doesn't get any simpler than this. If you enter, you'll come to a wall. You'll need to find a different path to go back. Next, we have a hidden door. These will look like a normal wall. It's a trick using some clever magic, but something should seem off. It wouldn't hurt to just check everything. If you touch every wall, you'll find it. Big Temple has a cure to loss, but they'd rather make money by treating the symptoms. Another type of hidden door is the dark door. You won't be able to find them by touching walls. They only appear under magical light. That's why you need to keep priests and lords around. There are also locked doors. If it has a keyhole, you can pick it, but some contain complex mechanisms, in which case you need to find a switch. You may also need to find a pass or open it from the other side. Remember this. Missing one door could lead to death in the cold, dark labyrinth. That's the kind of place you're dealing with. Got it? Ouch. This is really an extensive school. This place seems to be a lecture hall. Standing at the podium are a thief and a priest. Next to them is a treasure chest. Yep, we'll take the lecture. In the labyrinth, at the end of a battle, you will find a treasure chest. That's where the real fight begins. Treasure is the goal. Spells and swords are merely tools. We are all powerless without the weapons we find in chests. This may go without saying, but a treasure chest has treasure in it. People don't want their treasure stolen. What do? That's right, they set a trap to kill thieves like us. Imagine a mod for this where every time you run into a wall, you get an ouch, every party member loses 1 HP. There are actually games that work like that. Make sure you disarm the traps before opening a chest. Leave that to the specialist, specifically thieves or ninjas. Other classes won't be of any use. The real challenge is before disarming the traps. You have to identify them. Hey, Tristal. They just released a new flag to Dragon Warrior Randomizer that does exactly that. You lose HP when you bonk. That sounds miserable. The ones setting the traps are no fool. They won't make it easy for you. Even specialists like thieves and ninjas won't succeed all the time. That's where our priest friends can help. Introducing the level 2 priest spell Divine Trap. It's basically a clairvoyance spell. Or was it a blessing? God's will? Doesn't matter. All you need to know is that spells are as effective as thieves in identifying traps. Cover all bases with the thief and the priest. That's the proper way to identify a trap. But what if they don't agree? That's when the third person comes into play. A lord or a bishop will do. Keep in mind, even if you identify a trap, you may fail to disarm them if you lack the level or XP. That's when traps will activate. There are many types of traps. Some of them can wipe out your party. The teleporter trap. This can teleport you to a different location in the labyrinth. If that place happens to be inside a rock, you're done. If you feel like there's no way to disable a trap, giving up may be your most valuable option. Retreat is not defeat. Making that decision makes you a true adventurer. At the podium, there's a bishop, but instead of a stage, there are tables with weapons and items placed on them. These are weapons and items commonly found in the shop. Can you identify each item here? Is this a sword? A potion, perhaps? Oh, it's easy, is it? You'll see. We'll only go so far relying on sight. For example, these two swords. Can you tell the difference? I didn't think so. This one is a cheap longsword, but the other one a magical sword of slicing. The same can be said for potions. On first glance, you won't know if it's an antidote or potion of stimulate. If you buy them at a store, you won't have that problem. You could always ask the merchant, and each item is labeled. But what if you pick one up in the labyrinth? How about this analogy? You come across a canine monster in the labyrinth. It attacks without hesitation. What do? Fend it off with a sword? Wrong answer. You're dead. The dog turns out to be a hellhound. Your rearguard falls victim to its fire breath. Had you known, you could have used a spell to prevent it from attacking. Anything you come across in the labyrinth is unknown at first. If you don't know its name, you can't identify it. Should you pick it up or leave it? Should you fight or run? First, you must reveal its name. This applies to both items and monsters. The bishop has the ability to identify items. The priest has a spell named Name Monsters. It all starts with knowing the name. If you want to know the name of an item, you could take it back to town for identification too. This, however, may cost thousands in gold if the item is of high value. It would be best if you could do it yourself. Professor is writing on a blackboard. The words strength, intelligence, and piety can be read. What exactly do they teach here? An adventurer's abilities are measured by 6 traits. They are strength, intelligence, piety, vitality, agility, and luck. Let's start with strength. Strength is a number representing one's overall physical attributes. The higher this number, the more likely it is for physical attacks to hit, and a higher damage. A necessary trait for a vanguard. Next is intelligence. This number represents one's intelligence. The higher this number, the faster you can learn mage spells. Damage for attack spells will increase too. And then we have piety. This represents one's faith. The higher this is, the faster you can learn priest spells. It also decreases damage taken from enemy spells, so it's a useful attribute to have, even if you don't use priest spells. Yeah, I always just lose track of the pronunciation for whatever reason. Next we have vitality. This is an essential trait for almost all classes. It determines the amount of hit points and increases the success rate of reviving a dead ally. Not only does the number represent physical toughness, it also shows one's mental strength and willpower. Just remember, piety means you get pie. BRB, unless you happen to be ending soon. If so, I'll wait. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to end. It probably won't be too much longer. Pie and tea. Agility, one's reflexes and instincts. This number is an accumulation of those. The higher this is, the faster you can act in combat compared to your foes. The best of attacks lose their edge if the enemy attacks first. And lastly, luck. It helps to keep this one high too. You can decrease damage taken from enemy attack spells and breath. It will especially help thieves and ninjas who need to disarm traps on treasure chests. The minimum and maximum values for these will differ by class. Dwarves have high strength and vitality, elves have high intelligence, gnomes have high piety, hobs have a high agility and luck. Humans lack piety, but have balanced stats overall. The differences in stats should become more unnoticeable as the adventurer's level increases. Oh, I must add, your eyesight will decrease as the older you get, so be careful. Okay. Can confirm eyesight decreasing with age. Decreasing with rage. Yeah. So can I. So can I. Alright. At the podium stands a woman in a dress. She doesn't seem to be a soldier or adventurer. Perhaps she's with the employment agency? Take the lecture. In one's lifetime, it is very rare to stick to only one single class until retirement. The same can be said for an adventurer, especially those of you who are in so-called basic classes such as fighters, thieves, mages, and priests. For example, the fighter. They increase HP very fast. But what if they come across some armor specific to samurais or lords? Or what about the mage? If a samurai or bishop in the party levels up, there won't be a shortage of attack spells. You might think, if only I was a samurai or lord, I could have supported them with long-range weapons. These are the times you may want to switch classes. If you raise your abilities high enough, you'll be able to switch to a class you may not have had access to before. One of the merits of switching classes is that you can carry over spells. Your MP will match the number of spells you've learned. In most cases, your MP will decrease. The downside is your adventure level will reset to 1. You will age 4 to 5 years. Your abilities will reset to the base number for that class. To be quite frank, an adventurer right after switching classes is not very useful. You should plan to earn back your adventure level and abilities prior to leveling up. It all comes down to how efficiently you can earn XP. When you overcome this obstacle, your party will become stronger and better equipped to tackle things to come. Switching classes without giving it enough thought can be considered suicide. Oddish would hate this game. 6 dot ellipses. All right. Several students are seated in a circle. In the center, there's a knightly man with a wooden sword attacking a lightly armored mannequin. Observe, the mannequin in the armor is unscathed. Do not forget to make use of maneuvers such as evading and dodging, though. You must choose your armor appropriately. This criteria is known as AC, armor class. Without any armor equipped, your plainclothes will be AC 10. The more armor you equip from there, the lower your AC. A helm will be -1, a shield -2, etc. Add plate mail to this and you'll be at -7. In this case, the AC will be 3. If your AC goes below 0, it will become negative. Keep it as low as possible. Simple, eh? Of course, even the strongest armor can't protect you from every attack. Claws, for example, can slip between creases. There isn't much to be done about that. Live and learn. There are cases where 3 attacks can be reduced to 1, reducing damage taken by 2/3. Good armor is just that. It's designed to protect you, so it may not always look pretty. Alright, I'm going to view the map. Okay. The map I've been building is correct. I was just worried because it didn't go all the way to the edge. Fast. Lucky brightness. Okay. At the podium stands what appears to be a monk. There are no desks or chairs. He sits on the ground with the students. Clear your mind and look within. How much strength have you gained? Intelligence and experience? How about your adventurer level? Can any of you tell me what adventure level truly means? A measurement of strength? That's not wrong. Then how much difference in strength is there between level 1 and level 10? Is it truly only about HP and MP? Adventure level is not just a number. It is strength itself. For example, a level 1 fighter will struggle even just to strike a single enemy. But a level 10 fighter, even if their striking power doesn't increase, they will still be able to strike the target. If a level 1 mage tries to use stone, the enemy won't turn to stone so easily. But a level 10 mage can turn them to stone with relative ease. The same can be said when receiving attacks from monsters. Poison, paralysis, stone, drain. The higher the adventure level, the better you can handle status effects. If you switch classes based on the amount of HP, MP, and spells that are available to you, you will never achieve true strength. Now don't forget, the adventurer level is merely a guideline. Only when you find what's hidden will you gain true strength. Okay. At the podium stands a noble-looking man in a black gown giving a speech to the students. Could this be a graduation ceremony? Congratulations, everyone. We've taught you all we can at this school. The rest is up to you. At first you may fail. You'll come back tired from an adventure with no money to afford a warm bed. You spend the night in a stable just to recover MP before your next adventure. Be ready for that. Here at the Teachings of Zelk, we have a healing spring for the students, but you may not always have access to something like that. You won't get any stronger relying on kindness like that either, because your adventure level won't get any higher. The students burst into laughter. You wonder what part of that was funny. At times, your entire party will even be incapacitated or wiped out. Your bodies will lie deep in the cold, dark labyrinth, waiting for a monster to eat the remains. If possible, you may want to join an alliance with another party. Tough times birth the best friendships. People cannot survive alone. Gather your best people and form a main party and sub-party. To those of you graduating today, I gift you the words of the hero Zelk. Be a coward. Be cautious. The real winners are those who survive. That is all. Good luck. Teachings of Zelk, Fundamentals, Final Examination Ground. All right. I think we are ready for some actual adventure. Let's step through this door and see what it is. Huh? Well, you lot. These are grounds for the teachings of Zelk. No outsiders allowed. Get out. What? You want to meet Lord Zelk? A direct command from Alcedra? Oh, I see what you're up to. A big fan of Lord Zelk, are you? I see straight through your lie. Now go home. This guy doesn't seem to listen to reason. You decide to play along. Then what do outsiders need to do to gain an audience with Lord Zelk? What do we need to do to meet the hero? Well, first you'll need to learn the teachings of Zelk. Learn all the fundamentals. Then you can take the entry trial before you can even... And the grounds for that trial is this place? We would like to take the trial now. You draw your swords and ready your spells. The man in front of you snickers. What a bunch of amateurs. Did you think it would be that easy? Well, you should find out. This is no place for the untrained. Mr. Element, show these outsiders who's boss. One slimy thing. Hide. Cast a sleep spell. Parry. Ah, it doesn't affect the slimy thing. 13 damage. 7 damage. 4 damage. Elementary slime. It's pretty hardy. But not that hardy. Lucky got a card? No! Mr. Element! Damn it, what have you done? Did you seriously just kill the monster I trained for the trial? We didn't know. We're outsiders. We're also amateurs. You realize you haven't explained anything, right? The man lets out a low grunt. You don't feel any sympathy for him. You press him further. We passed the trial, right? We're students now. You mind if we go deeper into the mine shaft? We'll find Mr. Zelk ourselves. The man grits his teeth. Fine. Go ahead, amateurs. This mine was built to train warriors and adventurers. The traps in the labyrinth are made like the real thing. The monsters are no joke neither. Don't come crying back to me, you hear? You ignore the man and move on as you realize the absurdity of the situation. All you needed to do was pass on the king's orders to the heroes up. Now things are more complicated thanks to the stubborn man. Let's see what we want. Lucky, Lumbo, and Copernicus could take a dunk there. All right. Well, that's about 2 hours. It's 12:45 p.m. And I think that's about all the time we have today for Lunchtime Wizardry. I do plan on regularly streaming next week, Lunchtime Wizardry. So if you're around, drop by. I'd always be glad to see you. Thanks for coming out today. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to playing more Wizardry with you soon. Thanks for streaming. Enjoy your lunch. I definitely will. See y'all.